Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, September 7th. Lindsay Stottle here. Today is my day 353, and today's topic is about recognizing the cycle of abuse. The cycle of abuse often repeats itself in patterns, and recognizing it is the first step to breaking free. It usually begins with tension building, walking on eggshells, feeling pressure, or sensing something is about to go wrong. Then comes the abusive incident, verbal, emotional, physical, or financial harm. Afterward, there may be reconciliation, apologies, excuses, promises to change. Finally, the honeymoon phase follows. That's where things can feel calm or even loving until tension builds again and the cycle starts completely over. That cycle can trap victims in confusion and false hope, making it harder to leave. But once you see the pattern for what it is, it's not love, but control. You can begin to reclaim your power. Naming the cycle isn't weakness. It's the first act of courage, and it's the first step in breaking that cycle. Abuse doesn't usually start with violence. It builds through a predictable, repeating cycle that can trap victims in confusion, hope, and fear. Recognizing the cycle again is the first step to breaking free. This is my third day in a row that I'm talking about abuse. We started with rebuilding the trust and then taking your power back, but recognizing it is what you have to do before you can do the other two. I know I've said in the last couple days that there has been some form of abuse in every relationship I've had. It doesn't start right away. There is a honeymoon phase when you first meet somebody, and then once that person feels like you're comfortable with them, I guess I would say, they start showing their abusive side. Most of the time when I was going through that abusive parts, I didn't think I deserved any better. And I think that's why I kept getting into relationships with people that were abusive. And, I knew that they weren't treating me the way that they should, even though they said that they loved me. But again, I didn't think I deserved any better. I didn't think I could find any better. I didn't think I could find anyone who would treat me the way someone who loves a person should treat them. So, now I can look back at these past relationships and realize what was going on and what abuse there was. It wasn't just verbal or emotional, financial. There was physical abuse in the relationship I had right before my husband. So, and he's definitely not the abusive type. We very rarely argue. And when we do, it's, you know, we argue about it. We hear each other's sides. We agree to disagree sometimes, and we move on. Because when you love somebody, you don't abuse them. You don't take control over them. You don't take their power away from themselves. You applaud each other. You support each other. You uplift each other. So once you are able to break the abusive cycle and you find someone who treats you the way that you need to be treated, the way you're supposed to be treated, you can see what the abuse was in your past relationships, and you're more aware of that moving forward. What kind of things have you experienced? I'd be curious to find out. Not everybody's abusive experiences are the same. Comment below. You can private message me, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I also want to remind everybody about the book that I have co-authored. It's Born to Risk. It's book number 2 in the anthology. It is a story, well, I shouldn't say a story. There's several stories in it about people who risked it all and their story of courage that came from their greatest risk. My greatest risk was not jumping. My greatest risk was living. And now I have an amazing life and couldn't ask for anything more. So if you're interested in purchasing a book, there are 26 stories in here that are real stories from real people. Get a hold of me. I'd be happy to get you set up with a copy of your own. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. Oh, good morning, Emilio. Hi there. It's good to see you. Emilio is my publisher. So, and he and his wife, I love them to death. They helped me bring my story into print version, and also will be bringing my story into a documentary. So we loved Emilio and Daniela. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Bye.